Most traders make trading a lot harder than it already is, and it's because they don't know these top tips about how to use Tradovate. After you purchase your TopOne Futures account, you guys can log into portal.toponefutures.com where you guys will be able to see your metrics, the account, the status of the account. But most importantly, if you head under actions, you'll find a key. Click on the key and you'll find all your login credentials. Heading on to Tradovate now, guys, with those credentials, you're just going to plug in your username and password, click log in. As you guys can see, you guys get options here for market replay, simulation, and obviously utilizing prop firms, we're going to click on access simulation. It's going to put on a default layout for you guys, which this is one that I've already created, but I'm going to show you guys how you guys can do this exact same layout, assuming that we start all over. So I just want you guys to exit on everything that it automatically provides. From here, you have a fresh new accounts layout, and you're just going to click on add modules. Here, you'll be able to find everything that you could place on your dashboard and utilize, from market analyzer, chart, the DOM, orders, position, order ticket, TNS, trade performance, so on and so forth. And we're going to go over the most important ones that I find to have on your chart to make it as clean as possible and so that trading could be as efficient during the live markets. We're going to be starting off our layout with a chart. So you guys are just going to click on the chart, hold it, drop it off, and you guys can find the search bar. Here, you guys will be able to trade and chart every single instrument you guys see fit. So you just have to make sure that you are on the corresponding quarterly contract that you are on at that given time. At the time that you guys are watching this video, we are on H contracts and the year is 2026. Therefore, if I wanted to trade micros, NQ, NASDAQ, it's going to be MNQH6. So I'm going to click on that right there. Now we have our chart. Now that we have our chart and the instrument that I do want to trade, I'm going to continue to add modules. The next one I'm going to do, guys, is accounts. Right here, drag it to the bottom, click. You guys can see I have 10 TOF Ignite accounts, and I want to make sure that I can properly link them. So this is the first big tip. What you're going to do is click right here where it shows which account it is that is currently linked. Click on that. You're going to see at the bottom, manage groups. I'm going to click on manage groups. From here, you're going to notice if I were to click a new one, rename it, we're going to say Ace of Trades. Group successfully made. You're going to see all the available accounts that you will be able to drag over to the ones that you want copy traded. So I'm going to drag over 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I only have 9 out of 10. I'm slacking. Okay, you can now choose how much quantity you want. So if you guys have bigger accounts and you guys want to multiply your leverage, you guys can definitely choose. So I like to keep it to 1. It's going to be a lot easier to scale in, scale out, open, close without having to calculate afterwards. And I'll show you guys what I mean. So I'm going to save that, save, okay. And now if I were to click on Ace of Trades, all the accounts that I added are now being copy traded underneath that group. Now that you guys have created the group that you want to copy trade, all we're going to do is make sure that we can perfect this layout before executing any trades. From here, let's go over to that account tab that we added. We're going to view settings, which is reflected through the gear, select columns, and there's going to be a lot of data for you guys to choose from. Personally, for myself, I like to keep it nice and clean, no noise. So all I want personally is dollar total P&L. But I highly recommend you guys check out a lot of these because they're going to be really useful to your trading, such as your distance to drawdown. That's going to be massive for you guys. Okay, save. From here, you'll be able to see how much I made on 8 of the 9 instant funded accounts because that's all I was copy trading at the time. Let's add another module now. From here, I want to click on the plus, positions, drag that over right beside accounts, and now I have a new tab. I can now just flip between the 2 tabs. From here on positions, it does give you 2 options, whether it be compact or standard. I personally like to see the standard just so I can see which symbol is going to be corresponded to what my position sizing is, what my net price is, open P&L, and this is the total P&L without the subtracted commissions. You guys can see with commissions over here at accounts. You guys can see the massive difference between the two. And that's just because we did some trading today. Now that we added positions, this next one is a tip that a lot of people do not know. I'm going to click over to modules, head over to SuperDOM, drag that over to my right hand side, reduce how much space it needs so I can make my chart a lot bigger. Head over to search, and I want to make sure it reflects the same instrument that I am trading, in this case MNQ H6. I want to head over to view settings, and then make sure that show estimated P&L is showing. That way, whenever you're in a position based off the quantity, you'll see how much estimated you will make or lose. Now that we added the DOM, that would actually be enough for me to start executing trades. But let's show you guys some cool features that Tradovate does offer, such as Pulse. So Pulse, I'm just going to place it here. We will clean up this layout as soon as we're finished. But they do have basic market sentiment based on the averages of move. So we're looking at S&P is currently long, crude oil, gold, the Dow, NASDAQ, so on and so forth. I don't personally use this, so I am not going to add that to my layout. Another cool thing that you guys can see is your trade performance. So if we were to drag trade performance, you guys can keep that on your chart. I'd highly recommend keeping it at the bottom just so it doesn't really create noise, and you guys can always full size it if you choose to, so on and so forth. So let's do that. Here you'll be able to see all your statistics from all your trades, your profitable trades, your losing trades, your winning versus losing, P&L history, so on and so forth. But all of this could also be viewed through clicking right here. And it's going to be under all of this. So your total P&L, margin available, so on and so forth. And you guys can also download all of your trades through the CSV or the PDF and inputting those into a journal like TradeZella as an example. Now this layout is clean enough for me to start executing trades, but if you guys want to add any module such as a second chart, you guys can definitely choose to do so, right? So split screening the chart, putting whatever instrument you want, such as ES. Personally, the reason why I don't like this is because now with all of this information above, right, such as like that, now you have to start scrolling. You don't have as much space. Personally, what I would recommend is taking it, exiting it, and opening up a new tab instead. That way you guys have individual charts above, and you guys can click that plus, do all the instruments you guys want to trade. But personally for myself, when it comes to charting, I use TradingView because they have all my preset indicators. Tradovate itself does have indicators, right? So you guys can click right here, and there are a few that are built in. It's not a full library of them, but they do offer a few for ease of access. So before we execute any trades, I do want to unlink copy trading because there is a massive difference between having multiple accounts versus a singular account. So let's uncheck the group that we created, Ace of Trades. I'm going to click on the account that I want so that we have only a singular account that we're trading. No group is showing. And I want you guys to see that there is an ATM setting. A lot of people do not utilize this, and it is crucial to actually have it. So we're going to click on the gear, click on, and you guys could set it in terms of ticks, delta price, dollar value. We're going to keep it in ticks for this example. And I want it 10 points up and also 10 points down just for the example. So 40. And you guys could set just the take profit by itself or just the stop loss, completely up to you. And also choose the stop loss type. So if you guys are running an intraday drawdown, a lot of this is going to be crucial for you, such as a trailing stop, auto break even, auto trail, so on and so forth. Just for my example, let's click stop. And then you could also have two targets, right? So if I wanted to set two, one at 10 points, one at 20 points, I could definitely choose to do that. But for this example, let's just do one. Now let's name it Ace of Trades. Okay, and save. There we go. It is now on, and it is going to place a stop loss and a take profit at the time where I enter. So let's do that by market. And as you guys can see, it auto placed a take profit and an SL. If you guys did want to adjust it based off of your chart, you guys can definitely choose to do so. So dragging the SL a lot looser, widening it, or you guys can make it a lot tighter, putting it in profit. Now that I am in profit, he's a printer, let's go. But the cool feature about ATM where a lot of people don't know is, let's just say it hits that take profit. Boom. It closed off every single open order. So that stop loss is now gone. This is the issue that a lot of people find with Tradovate is, let's turn this off. That way I can show you. Let's do sell market here. Let's put my stop loss buy stop since we're in a sell now. And let's put a take profit. Buy limit. Look what happens when one of them is touched. So let's drag this stop all the way. Whoa. It won't touch my stop because he is still printing. Just joking, guys. But let's drag this. Let's just get out of that trade just so I can show you the example. That order for the stop that I placed individually is still open. So a lot of times, say if you're taking an overnight trade, right? And it touches your stop loss. Next thing you know, it's going for your take profit, but you're not in a position anymore because now you have a floating order. It goes for that order and now takes your whole account because it's going in the opposite direction. And a lot of people will wake up, see their account gone, and they're wondering, what in the world happened? Would have been protected if you just use an ATM. On the chart as well, you guys can click right here for chart settings. I have it off, continuous auto fit, because I want to be able to have the freedom to move the chart where I want, place my stops, my orders, all that kind of good stuff. But if you guys do like the way that it makes sure that price is always in the middle and on your screen, then you guys can definitely choose to do that. Personally, for myself, not a fan. So let's turn that off. I'm on candlesticks because that's what I trade. And you guys can click right here for fills and orders. Show fills will give you a nice arrow to show exactly where you were positioned. You have trade lines to see where you open and close the trade. You guys can choose to show all, show your orders, show your order lines, which I highly recommend at least these two being shown. And I will give an example of all of them. So now that we've covered a lot of the crucial things, right? Tip number 1, which was the layout. Tip number 2, how to copy trade. Tip number 3, your risk settings. Let's start to execute. And this is where a lot of people make the big mistakes. So you guys just got 2 examples there, right? One where you guys could click onto the chart, set your limit, right? So I want to buy right here as soon as it gets above that price, so 901.75. It's now putting me into the trade. I want to put a stop loss, so sell a stop. Put also a limit order for when it hits TP, and that just hit TP. However, it leaves that order open. Or what you guys could do is have an ATM setting where if you were to purchase, right, you guys could still automatically drag wherever you see fit, where you want your price target and also your stop loss, however wide you want it or however tight you want it. If you want to move it to break even based on whatever settings you put, like the one I showed. And what I recommend for you, as soon as you're done the trade altogether, so like, let's just say this hit our stop loss. Boom, trade is now gone and removed. To ensure that no orders are ever left, always make sure to click exit, market, and cancel all, okay? Clicking on this and spamming it multiple times will ensure that no orders will ever be left on your chart, and you can now walk away with whatever profits you have made for that day or whatever losses you have incurred. Now let's utilize that DOM that we also placed onto our chart. Okay, so we are using ATM settings in this case and scenario. It is holding some nice levels. So let's just pretend, ooh, wow, cool, nice long here. Boom, right? I'm gonna drag my SL. Let's drag up my TP, put that to 49. If we were to look on our DOM at 49, where you guys can see there is a sell order, I will make approximately $69.50. If you guys drag all the way down, see wherever order your sell is, so there's my stop loss, I will lose $64. And obviously you can adjust that just by dragging it on your DOM, right? So you guys can see right there, it will reflect on the chart. Or vice versa for your profits, if you guys want to loosen that, make a little bit more, lose, or make it a lot tighter, not lose. Sorry, we're still in the trade. But you guys can definitely choose to do so, right? You guys could also execute the order over here by clicking market. Now we're in 2 micros on NQ. And I always want to preface this by saying, make sure, please, that both instruments are the exact same one. Okay, that's going to help you guys reduce a lot of the errors. So say if this one's on ES, right, and you're looking at MNQ, and so you start spamming market over here because you think you're looking at this chart, you might lose some dollars, especially since your analysis isn't cross-compared, if that makes sense. And then from here, what you could also do, instead of just clicking or waiting for your order to get filled, you guys can also just exit market and cancel, which is going to sell that position at that given market price. So it looks like I'm going to make roughly around $20 to $30 during this position. And let's close. You guys can see here, it executed on both and there is no open position, no dollars to be made. And now let's see what it looks like in terms of the positions tab. So when we're in a position, right, it's going to say we are currently long, right? Position, we're in 1. There's our current cost average, our net price, open P&L, and how much we've already made. So $60 total, but that is not including commissions. It looks like this, 36, as opposed to the 59 that it's currently showing. And once again, now that we're here, I want to make sure we close all position. Now let's show you what happens once we actually group and activate that copy trade. So clicking Ace of Trades, all the accounts are now synced. So as soon as I enter into a position, you guys are going to see that whole total dollar move all together. Now here is where it gets a little bit difficult because now you have to see how many accounts you have. So I'm currently trading 9, right? So this, instead of 1, is going to be 9, and it's going to reflect 1 micro across every single account, because on that setting, you guys can see we did 1 quantity for every single execution across all. There's 9 accounts. Therefore, I must put 9, which is going to be equivalent to 1 across all accounts, like I said. Okay, so let's click buy. Boom! And there you guys have it. Multi-bracket orders are not supported in group mode. So you guys have to make sure to turn that off. Okay. And we are now long. As you guys can see, the orders are now moving based off of where they got filled. And if I were to place 9 stop, that means they will all get stopped right here at 901.75. And if I put the limit right here in profit, right, boom, that'll get filled. Massive issue here is execute. The order is left open. So that's one downside to copy trading. However, again, make sure as soon as that trade has executed, just click exit market and cancel all, which gets rid of all open orders, or you guys could just click the X on that open order, which will just remove it as well. But to ensure that any orders that you can't even see, right? So say if you left one all the way up here, that will get removed as well. And this is where you start to multiply. So say if you want to get in 3, right? So you would have to do 9 plus 9, 18 plus 9, 27. So I'd have to put 27 to this candle's just going insane, as you guys can see. That's hilarious. But you guys would have to put 27, which would be 3 micros across every single account. I'm not going to do that because I'm not here to lose some money showing an example, but that's what you guys would do. And let's just say if I did execute 3. Okay, let's remove copy trader for this example. So go on to that one account. Say if I wanted to do 3, right? So again, 27 would have been equivalent with those 9 accounts, but I'm just going to use that single account, which has only $42 in it. I'm going to go long as an example here, right? And say if I set my stop, I want to clean cut it here at 23, 25. But say if I want scales along the way, what I could do is drop this down to a 1, and I know that there's 3 position. So I could just click and set my limit, right? Set my limit because 1 just got filled inside of there. So 1 at 65, 1 at 75, and I could wait for all of those to get targeted. And oh, cool, Ace, you're in profit, $32 once again. Drag my SL all the way to BE, make this a risk-free trade. And as soon as that gets tapped or the profits get tapped, then like right There. I guess we're gonna wait for this one to pan out because it hasn't. There you go. Let's go. It just got tapped, right? But that SL, as you guys saw, it still had 3 when one got trimmed out. So now it forced me into a short with more sell orders open, meaning it's gonna add into this trade where I don't want that because those were previous PTs. Again, this is where a lot of errors could occur, right? That was a perfect example of one right there. You just have to ensure that whenever you do have a limit that you're adjusting your stop based off of that as well. So that was a pretty good example that we just showed. So now let's go into that short, right? So let's place 2, go back into 3. And what you could also do, so say if I want to put my buy stop, buy stop, buy stop, and buy limit, buy limit, buy limit all across here. I now have 3 orders, and that will help also see physically where I would be positioned based off of that. So there's their first loss. So I would have to obviously reduce another contract right here. So now I have 2 stops, or 2 limits and 2 stops. Another stop about to come in. But yeah, that's how to execute those trades on the actual chart. And there you guys have it. There's your comprehensive guide of how to use Tradovate to the best of its abilities, which will help you guys obviously properly have a layout to use effectively and efficiently for proper trading, which is also going to just be subjective to you guys. So make sure to utilize it the way that you guys seem fit. Making sure to set up your risk settings, which is arguably the most important part through all of this. How to utilize copy trading for even more leverage, get more money from those payouts. And then for understanding your executions from your take profits, your SLs, your trims, and then also how to utilize those ATMs. Lastly, make sure, again, when you are copy trading that no orders are left. So making sure to click on that cancel and flatten all, which is going to remove all open orders that are available on your chart so that if one does get tapped, such as your stop loss, your take profit is still not open, which it could push in the opposite direction. So just making sure to, again, click that cancel and flatten all. Also, if you guys want to open up any new prop accounts with TopOne Futures, make sure to use code PHUB. And just as a little bit of a bonus, we did drop another video of how to connect your Tradovate to your trading view. And this is going to be especially crucial if you guys want to do that with a singular account because it is not allowed with copy trading. But see you guys in the next video, and I hope that you guys check out that video. Peace.